Have we completely forgotten what a real sport utility vehicle is supposed to look like? Take a look around the parking lot the next time you go to the grocery store, and you will see an endless ocean of soft, rounded, jellybean-shaped crossovers. They look more like raised hatchbacks than actual trucks. For the most part, modern SUVs have become appliances. They feel like washing machines on wheels, designed simply to get you from point A to point B without making you feel anything at all. But what if you want something that actually looks like it can conquer a mountain, yet still has the manners to take your kids to school in total comfort? Welcome back to Crownline Reviews, everyone. Today we are looking at a machine that is here to punch those soft crossovers right in the nose. This is the 2026 Nissan Terra, and it might just be the most exciting, unapologetic, and rugged family vehicle we have seen in a very long time. To really understand why this new 2026 model is so important, we have to take a quick trip down memory lane. For years, Nissan had a legendary reputation for building tough, go-anywhere vehicles. If you are old enough, you might remember the original Nissan Pathfinder or the incredibly cool Nissan Xterra from the early 2000s. Those were vehicles built on actual truck frames, meaning they had the steel skeleton of a pickup truck, which made them incredibly strong and capable off the road. In places like Australia and the Middle East, the Nissan Patrol is a legend, a vehicle that conquers deserts before breakfast. The Terra inherits that exact same bloodline. But as time went on, people wanted cars that drove more like sedans, and the true, rugged SUV started to fade away in favor of comfort. The Terra nameplate has been around in other parts of the world for a while, serving as a tough, reliable workhorse, but it was always a bit too rough around the edges for everyone to enjoy daily. Now Nissan has completely rewritten the rulebook. They have looked at their heritage, remembered what made those old Xterras so beloved, and injected all of that tough DNA into this brand new generation. They fixed the old complaints about a bumpy ride and a cheap interior, bringing us a vehicle that honors its rugged ancestors while embracing the future. Let's look at this thing sitting here in the studio. The very first thing that grabs your attention is this absolutely stunning deep metallic ocean blue paint job. It is the kind of color that looks almost black in the shadows, but explodes with a brilliant sparkling sapphire hue when the studio lights hit those sharp body lines. Notice the muscular creases on the hood, giving the driver a fantastic view of the vehicle's corners from the driver's seat. Nissan has completely nailed the front-end design. Instead of a delicate little badge, you get this massive, blocky NISSAN lettering stamped proudly across a blacked-out textured grille. It looks aggressive, confident, and completely unapologetic. Flanking that bold grille are these incredibly sharp, angular LED daytime running lights that look almost like glowing boomerangs, giving the truck a very modern, high-tech stare. Moving down the front, you can see they mean business. There's a chunky, heavy-duty silver skid plate right at the bottom, which isn't just for show. It is there to protect the vital engine components if you decide to take this beast over some rocks or deep ruts. That silver contrasts beautifully with the tough black plastic housing that holds the fog lights. As we walk around to the side, the rugged theme continues with these heavily flared, squared-off black wheel arches. They give the Terra a wide, muscular stance like a bulldog ready to pounce. And tucked inside those arches are some serious wheels and tires. We are looking at gorgeous two-tone black and machined silver alloy wheels, wrapped in thick, chunky all-terrain tires. If you look closely behind those machined silver spokes, you can just make out the heavy-duty brake calipers, designed to bring this substantial machine to a safe, controlled stop even when fully loaded. These aren't those thin, low-profile tires you see on luxury SUVs that pop if you look at a pothole the wrong way. These are meaty tires designed to grip mud, snow, and dirt. The side profile also reveals a really clever design trick. Nissan has given this Terra a two-tone effect with a completely blacked-out roof and black pillars, which makes that deep blue body color pop even more. Up top, you have sturdy black roof rails, ready for a cargo box, a kayak, or even a rooftop tent. Down below the doors, there are proper heavy-duty side steps, which you are actually going to need because this vehicle sits high off the ground. The ground clearance is fantastic, giving it a stance that says it is ready to climb a mountain right off the showroom floor. It is a masterclass in making a boxy, traditional SUV shape look incredibly modern and desirable. Now, while we can't hop inside the specific studio model just yet, I can tell you exactly what Nissan has engineered for the cabin based on our time with the pre-production units. When you open the door and climb up into the driver's seat, the first thing you notice is how commanding the view is. You are sitting high up, looking down on traffic, which gives you a wonderful sense of safety and control. The interior design perfectly matches the outside. It is chunky, durable, and designed to be used by real families. You will find big, sturdy grab handles on the pillars to help you pull yourself in, and the materials they have used on the dashboard and doors feel like they can take a beating. If you have kids or dogs, you know how important it is to have surfaces that you can easily wipe clean after a muddy weekend, and the Terra delivers exactly that. Imagine cruising home at night, the cabin bathed in a soft, subtle ambient lighting that outlines the doors and the center console, making this rugged truck feel surprisingly premium and calming after a long day of adventuring. Just because it is tough doesn't mean it is primitive. Nissan has packed the center console with a massive crystal-clear touchscreen infotainment system that handles all your navigation, music, and smartphone connections seamlessly. And here's the best part, something I know a lot of you watching will appreciate. They kept physical buttons for the climate control. You do not have to dig through 3 digital menus just to turn up the air conditioning or turn on your heated seats. You just reach down, turn a chunky rubberized dial, and you are done. It is a small detail, but it makes living with the car so much easier. The back seats are incredibly spacious, offering plenty of legroom even for tall teenagers, and the cargo area in the trunk is absolutely cavernous. You could easily fit a week's worth of camping gear, a couple of big dogs, or half a hardware store in the back of this thing. Underneath that sculpted blue hood, Nissan has given the Terra the heart of a true workhorse. While the exact numbers vary slightly depending on your region, the core powertrain is a robust, high-torque turbocharged engine paired with a smooth shifting automatic transmission. We are looking at roughly around 280 horsepower, but more importantly, well over 300 pound-feet of torque. Torque is that pulling power you feel when you step on the gas, and it is exactly what you need when you are trying to merge onto a busy highway or pull a heavy trailer up a steep hill. And yes, this vehicle is built to tow. Whether you have a boat, a camper, or a pair of jet skis, the Terra has the structural strength to handle it without breaking a sweat. But the real magic happens when the pavement ends. The 2026 Terra features a proper, old-school 4-wheel drive system. This isn't one of those reactive all-wheel drive systems that only sends power to the back wheels after you're already slipping in the snow. This is a system you can lock into 4-wheel high for snowy roads, or 4-wheel low when you are tackling deep mud, steep rocky inclines, or loose sand. It has a locking rear differential, which forces both back wheels to spin at the exact same speed, ensuring you keep moving forward even if one wheel is completely off the ground. It is the kind of mechanical capability that gives you absolute peace of mind when the weather turns terrible or the adventure gets a little wild. Though what is it actually like to drive? Let me ask you this. Think about your current car and how it feels when you hit a nasty pothole or a sunken manhole cover. You probably brace yourself right. You wait for that harsh crash to echo through the cabin. In the Nissan Terra, that simply doesn't happen, because you have those thick, chunky all-terrain tires and a suspension system designed to absorb the impacts of off-road trails. Driving it on regular city streets feels incredibly plush. It just glides over broken pavement, speed bumps, and rough roads like they aren't even there. The steering has a nice, reassuring weight to it. It doesn't feel light and twitchy like a small hatchback. It feels substantial, reminding you that you are piloting a serious piece of machinery. Imagine you are driving home with your family, and suddenly the sky opens up. A torrential downpour hits and the road starts to flood. In a normal car, your heart rate spikes. You grip the wheel tighter, but in the Terra, you just turn on the wipers and keep going. You sit high above the spray, those deep tire treads cut right through the standing water, and you feel an overwhelming sense of security. That feeling, that absolute confidence, is what you're paying for. Now we have to be honest here on Crownline Reviews. Because it is a tall, boxy vehicle with off-road tires, it is not going to handle like a sports car. If you take a corner too fast, you are going to feel the body lean. You will also hear a slight hum from those aggressive tire treads when you are cruising at highway speeds, and the wind noise is a bit more noticeable because you are pushing a big square brick through the air. But honestly, that is part of the charm. It doesn't pretend to be a race car. It feels like a truck in the best possible way. It gives you a sense of invincibility on the road. When you are behind the wheel, you feel relaxed, confident, and ready for absolutely anything the journey throws at you. Let's talk about the reality of owning this vehicle day in and day out. If you're looking for the most fuel-efficient vehicle on the market, this is not it. Pushing a heavy, capable 4-wheel drive SUV around takes energy, and you will be visiting the gas station more often than you would in a small hybrid crossover. That is the trade-off for having this level of capability and space. However, when it comes to reliability, Nissan's truck platforms are legendary for their durability. These engines and transmissions are built to withstand punishing conditions, meaning that with regular oil changes and basic maintenance, this is a vehicle that could easily stay in your family for a decade or more. Because it is built so tough, these types of traditional SUVs tend to hold their value incredibly well on the used market. People always want a reliable 4x4, so when it comes time to sell it 5 or 10 years down the road, you are likely going to get a much larger chunk of your money back compared to a disposable luxury crossover. Living with the Terra is all about embracing a certain lifestyle. It is for the family that actually goes out and does things on the weekends. It is for the person who wants to throw their muddy mountain bike in the back without worrying about ruining delicate carpets. It is for the driver who lives in an area where winter means heavy snow, and they need to know they can get to work safely no matter what the weather report says. The running costs might be slightly higher than a standard car, but the utility and the sheer peace of mind it provides are worth every single penny for the right kind of owner. So what is the final verdict on the 2026 Nissan Terra? Who is this car really for, and who should probably look elsewhere? If you're someone who only drives in the city, who prioritizes maximum fuel economy, and who wants a vehicle that handles like a nimble little sports sedan, you should probably skip the Terra. There are plenty of soft, comfortable crossovers out there that will suit you better. But if you are tired of blending in with the crowd, if you crave a vehicle with genuine character, and if you want a machine that is as tough as it looks, the Terra is an absolute home run. Nissan has managed to capture the rugged, adventurous spirit of their classic SUVs and package it into a modern, handsome, and highly capable family hauler. That deep blue paint, that aggressive stance, and that undeniable presence make it one of the most exciting vehicles in its class. It is a reminder that driving doesn't have to be boring, and that the journey is just as important as the destination. Thank you so much for joining us today on Crownline Reviews. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an upload. Remember, life is too short to drive boring cars. We will see you in the next one.